I said we'll see what kind of Doctor Strange you are. Hmm?
Thought you were going to start singing then.
We'll see what kind of Doctor Strange you are. You are. We'll see what kind of Doctor Strange you are. You are.
Who's Doctor Strange?
I don't know, fellas. We'll find out tomorrow, I guess.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to No Bubble Podcast episode. I don't know, because this is a pre-record one.
Yeah, this is advanced.
This is weird because we haven't done this in a while. This is just for the fact of like we was going to do the James Bond stuff today, but I think I've only
It's
watched.
the wrong week.
I've
It's
only
the
watched
wrong
like
week.
3 of them, and plus we got Doctor Strange the day of recording, so it's Wednesday, the 4th of May. May the 4th be with you, everyone.
Yes, everyone.
Happy
Yeah.
Star Wars. So to celebrate, we're going to talk about the MCU,
Yeah.
but also like because we want to get the Doctor Strange one out ASAP. So we're literally
immediately.
seeing it. We're both seeing it at different times in the morning tomorrow on Thursday, and then we'll record it that day. But you'll have already heard it because it will come out the Friday, the 6th, which is incidentally the day that you can see Connor on
Capona.
Connor and myself on the Doctor Who edition of the Chase Series 2, Episode 1
The latest variant.
on Who Game Shows. Thanks to
Capona.
the amazing Will Templar we had on a couple of weeks ago. So we're going to take the time to finally, because we didn't watch all the Roger Moore James Bonds and we don't
No,
have time.
not
but we
yet,
can
not
maybe
yet.
do that next week.
Yeah.
This is just the pad because the baby could come any minute, so this is just, it saves me a week. We're just going to actually talk about Moon Knight for once. So, 3 episodes with fucking Oscar Isaac in the title and...
Nothing. Yeah.
Yep, and now everything. So we're going to talk in depth about Moon Knight.
The whole event, the whole extravaganza, the whole shebang. The show.
We'll do the new stuff as well. So if we've got anything, we could be a week or a couple of weeks out of date. We don't know. But yeah, we'll do the stuff now because like tomorrow yesterday, last week, whenever the fuck this is,
Yeah.
we kind of just want to be like, right, here's Doctor Strange.
Yeah. Who's Doctor Strange? Nothing else. We've been through the multiverse. We can't process what on earth is in front of us. Let's talk about it, and only that.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Are you for because it'll be exciting for people to listen to this. So in the future, how are you feeling? Are you ready for tomorrow? The past?
I'm ready for tomorrow again. If you ask me, I'm gone through tomorrow for you guys, which is yesterday for me. But then I also want to revisit tomorrow again, and as many times as I
A bit
want.
loud, babes.
I want tomorrow, all day, every day of all week, because I'm not back till Saturday, back at work. So I want to do.
I'm off now for 7
Friday.
days.
I want to do Friday tomorrow, but you're yesterday tomorrow.
Today.
Yes.
It's the home of tomorrow,
I
except
want
it's
as many tomorrows
so
as
confusing.
possible.
I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah.
By now you'll know our thoughts, but I'm nervous, apprehensive, excited.
Yeah.
From the early reviews, I'm ready to just go in and just enjoy it for what it is.
But also not to diss it or to take us off the train. But I'm kind of going to be excited for a bit of a Marvel break. I feel like I've had a bit of a Marvel burnout.
Well, because after this
Little
we have the whole month of June off. No, we have
Miss Marvel.
shit.
No, we've got about a month off from Marvel.
Be
And,
nice.
Yeah. So we can, yeah.
Because I'm going on my own to watch it. Well, I'll have watched it on Thursday at 6 in the morning. Because
That's a sensible time.
Well, because it's Lars' cousin's wedding, so we leave on the Friday. It's in Manchester, so we leave on the Friday. The wedding's on the Saturday. Come home on the Sunday. So I've worked Monday, Tuesday, day off and holiday, and 2 days off. So I'm not back to work till next Wednesday.
Oh, good.
So I'm kind of like cool. Also, don't go into labour on the motorway. That'd be really nice. So
Yeah,
I'll let you know how that one goes. But just because I've got like I'm doing all the stuff I can do today, so I've got to like make sure like I've got a shirt that fits and is clean. I've got to probably pick up a new tie. Fill the car up. I'll do Friday before I leave. Like tidy that up, make sure everything's like good and ready to go and unpacked. Because it's like so. I wanted to see it tomorrow before I went because otherwise I wouldn't have been able to see it till like Monday, Tuesday. And by that point,
Spoilers
it's like
abound.
literally.
Yeah.
So it's like I
Multiverse
wanted to see
have
it
been
Thursday, but also if I see it Thursday, I can then just like get on with my day. I can go get my hair cut. I can do like little bits and sort of
Yeah.
like, and then come back do this and then edit that before we go and make sure that's done. So that's gonna be I'm excited, happy. I've not watched any of the clips
No.
because a lot of times of the films I'll just like get overexcited and just watch everything, and then I'll be like, well, I've kind of seen this all. But we'll talk. It would be remiss of us to talk about the latest TV spot, which who's Doctor Strange? If you've not seen it, then go away. What the fuck are you listening to this for? Come back. Well, no, it's after, so you've seen it. So well done. So in the past, wibbly wobbly.
Listen, you stayed away.
Timey wimey. The yellow 90s animated series chair for Patrick Stewart, which we both were talking about. We literally had almost a podcast conversation 20 minutes before this, where it was like, it is just visual shorthand, which I think is the best way to do it. Is like, you put him in that chair,
Yep. You know exactly.
90s cartoon movies. It's not the real one. Yes, it's a variant. Jesus, there was a leak of a photo of the Illuminati, which was footballed on a Facebook group, which I presumably preemptively warned Connor about. Like, if you don't want to know about it, don't look at it.
On it. And of course, I clicked on the group just to make sure it's one that I don't actively get notifications from or just pop up on my feed.
Yeah.
And then I saw the title said, "Don't click on photo in the
Don't
comments."
look in the comments.
So I was like, "Fuck that."
But for me, the comment, it was one of the comments you could see. So you see the photo. So if that's in the movie, we'll have discussed that last week. Because tomorrow we'll talk.
Yeah.
It's weird. I love recording that, I think. Because I'm looking forward to, if that is real, talking about that, and if it's not real, showing you it and being like, this is
embarrassing. This is what you call a photo jump, folks.
Like, it's saved on my phone just in case.
Yeah, got the ammunition.
If it is real, then welcome to the MCU, Boris Johnson.
Wow! I thought you said there was going to be no spoilers. My God.
As Shima Gorath. No, I'm looking forward to it. From early reports, the breakout star is America Chavez herself, Josita Gomez.
Gomez, yeah.
I hope I said that right. It sounded quite Spanish, so.
Yeah.
And she did a TikTok with Benedict Wong on the red carpet. At the moment, the trending sound of Louis Theroux with his reciting his rap from one of his weird weekends. So her and Benedict Wong were doing the whole "My money doesn't jiggle jiggle, it folds" dance, and fucking world class. It's one as Benedict Wong said on the red carpet of Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness. Welcome to the WCU. It's Wong's world, and we're all just living in it. 6
Good
movies
lad.
of Wong. Because I was talking.
We've had 5. Sorry, we had
Go for
five with Doctor Strange, and this is the 6th one, and then we've already had
Doctor Strange, sort of Ragnarok.
Yeah, that scene. Yeah.
Well, it lasts longer than 5 minutes, so we can sort of count it as a period. Infinity War, Endgame,
Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Spider-Man: No Way Home, Multiverse of Madness.
This is the 6th. Yeah. Doctor Strange.
Doctor Wong,
Doctor
Infinity Wong, Wong Game,
End Wong,
Wong Game,
Shang
Wong Shi,
yeah.
Spider-Man: No Way Wong.
Spider-Man,
they're both on 6.
No Wong Home.
No one's home. Yeah, so like they're on the same amount. It's because I was talking to Lara about it because Shang-Chi is now definitively her favourite MCU movie.
Okay.
So because those who didn't know, we did the rewatch of all of them because she saw like 10 minutes of Endgame. Was like, I think I'd like them all if I watched them all, and we slowly worked our way through. And then once we hit Avengers 2012 or Avengers Assemble for those with distribution problems, she was like, okay, I kind of get it. And then it obviously kicked on, and Phase 2 was, I think, really what sort of got her, because during that time we went on a trip to Scotland, which was meant to be for my birthday, but because of the pandemic, so we ended up going like late August. And on the plane there, we watched Ant-Man. While we were there, we watched Civil War. And on the plane back, we watched Doctor Strange. Because we were there for like 3-4 days. And she really liked Ant-Man. She really liked Doctor Strange. And she was talking to me yesterday because we saw... So we've seen Phase 4, she's seen in the cinema. Apart from Eternals, because I didn't go see that either, because I just didn't have time. But I saw that on Disney+.
Yeah. She's
still not watched that yet, but that's, half a job, really. But, the Marvel shows, she's dipping in and out. She loves the WandaVision one because that was just such a fun thing. Hawkeye because it just felt real, and it, like me, it gave her Daredevil vibes. Which, she's not finished that either, but, she's got a lot of time off, so she can pull
Moon Knight yet, or not just yet?
Moon Knight, watching the trailer, liked it, and then it was like, she hasn't watched it yet, but I think, she's at home for a little while, so she'll have some time. But she likes the look of Miss Marvel, the fact that you're getting a Muslim Pakistani teenager, like you're getting a whole completely different look on it. It feels real because of the family. Like she likes it when it feels real, and she also likes the self-contained stuff, which is why I think she really gave me a better perspective on Ant-Man. Like Ant-Man and the Wasp for her are like really top tier, obviously like the comedy and stuff, but for her it's like a lot of people said, like it's a really small story, like pun intended, but like she's like, you don't have to be like pay attention if this was from this movie like that, 5 movies ago, or this is from
there's not a universe to think about.
Like she can just enjoy it. Yeah. Which is why she really likes Shang-Chi, because it's new characters. Like yes, you've got the thing of like it ties up the Mandarin thing and like the whole thing with the 10 rings.
Was in it, but yeah.
She's like, it's got nice little things, but you can sort of enjoy it on its own. But then you get the reminder at the end of like, oh, this is in a bigger universe.
Yeah.
And that's kind of a nice perspective to have on it, and I really fucking love Shang-Chi. But for her, I think it's that Black Panther, and then you've got like Doctor Strange and the 2 Ant-Mans, so that's like her top 5.
Okay, yeah.
And then like obviously like she loves like the big ones and the team up ones, and obviously the OGs. But it's just it's weird because she enjoys both Black Panther and Doctor Strange, and I think we sort of found that like you kind of either enjoyed one or the other. A lot of the fandom did. It was either like, oh, Doctor Strange is too trippy, or Black Panther's like, oh, people are saying it's too preachy, even though it's like, but black people are allowed to be in movies, guys.
Exactly.
And they're really good as long as they get their jabs, Letitia. So we will not waste any more time. We will talk about Moon Knight in depth.
Night of the Moon. Yeah.
Just after. Oh yeah, we got to do the news bits. But yeah. So we're going to be. So this is another spoiler warning. Like we're going to talk about it in depth from the start and just review all 6 episodes, what we thought of the series, because
this is just a complete package.
Yeah. So we got a Disney movie slate for 2022, 2023.
We did.
Which included names and some release dates. Some switched around because Ant-Man has swapped with the Marvels.
Yeah.
Which Mike pointed out on Twitter. It's like, that seems like a bit weird, but also it made sense because we know that Quantumania has been filming for a while. I don't think Marvels has been in filming.
No.
It's not been in principal photography, so it makes sense that, well, if that one's done, put that one out.
Get it out, yeah.
Yeah.
Regardless of what state the world's in, get it out.
And it's not really a massive swap, though.
No. As far as we're aware. I mean, being through the multiverse might give us another look at something, but, maybe not. It might just be something in our minds.
Oh, no, because it says so it says the Marvels are February.
And then
Quantumania is July. So did they swap round backwards?
Oh, no.
I don't know. You Google that, but so we got Lightyear June the 17th. We got the Bob's Burgers movie. Yay, May 27th. Which is weird because that's been put after June, but that's the end of the month coming because that's the same time as Kenobi. Thor: Love and Indeed Thunder, July 8th. The Banshees of Inisherin, October 21st. These are all in fucking weird, like it's really weird. So you've got it's October, September, then you've got November 11th for Black Panther: Wakanda Forever, whatever form that takes. Ryan Coogler, we're all here for you.
Yeah.
Because Jesus Christ. Amsterdam, November 4th. November 18th for The Menu. November 23rd, Strange World. Avatar 2 got a title.
It did, didn't it? The something of water.
The Way of Water.
The Way of Water.
I have the names for the other ones as well, but that's on another one.
They got announced.
So that's December 16th. That's, the movie no one asked for, like...
Back in 2009,
12 years ago now?
Yeah.
Be 12 years ago. It's this Christmas.
Yeah.
I think the trailer was because there was a lot of the Xavi influencers. They went and saw an earlier thing of Doctor Strange, and there was a trailer for Avatar 2 in it. Avatar, average movie, like when it was Dances with Wolves and other versions of like the Last Samurai and things like that. The person whose homeland gets invaded by outsiders that are pieces of shit. Let me just log back into that.
No, you're right. So it's now gone back to July. Marvels has been pushed back to July 2023.
Oh, so then so this come out and then they've swapped. So then we can say that.
Yeah.
So then the Marvels is probably now July 28th, 2023. The old Ant-Man release date, meaning that Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania is now February 2023, which is I'm fucking fine with that. The Haunted Mansion, is that finally the Guillermo del Toro one with Ryan Gosling? March 10th, 2023. Guardians Volume 3. 5th of May. Indiana Jones, June 30th, 2023, and The Little Mermaid, May 26th, 2023. Yes, and indeed some of it.
Indeed, some of it.
I don't know, it's kind of just like, a lot of this
sure.
we kind of already knew. It's
Yeah.
nice that we've kind of got a thing of like these ones are coming, but obviously, anything could happen. Like we could fucking be thrown
Blade,
into some other-
Fantastic Four, where are you?
Fantastic Four is in Phase 4. We know Blade isn't.
Uh-huh.
So, I still think if it's closing out Phase 4, which it is, because it's the last one in that whole thing of
that
like
bracket.
Fantastic Four, even though it doesn't have a director now because John Watts quit.
Yeah, that was a good segue. Yeah.
It was. It needs to come out the 4th of April, 2024, to end Phase 4. To end
It
Phase
does.
4.
4/4/24.
But yeah, so John Watts quit that, which is he's taking a bit of a break, which is understandable because obviously he
was to do one of the most sort of overhyped products within the last year,
and one of probably the most difficult trilogies anyone would ever have to
Yeah.
make, because he was the first MCU director to complete a trilogy. Because
yes.
Jon Favreau only did
two.
2. There's been a different director for the
Four.
3 Thors, and
Yeah.
Taika's getting his second bite of the apple. You had Joss Whedon do 2 of the Avengers, and then another 2 from the Russos.
Yeah, the Russos
Quantum-
technically did a trilogy, but not of the same property. Captain America.
Well, they did 2.
Captain America.
Yeah, they did.
Avengers,
Yeah, they did
Avengers,
2 Captain Americas, and the first one was Joe Johnson. You had who else? So Ant-Man, like Peyton Reed will complete his trilogy of Ant-Man, but obviously that comes out next year. So yeah, the first MCU director to complete a trilogy, and he decided to take a break from comic book movies because he was obviously signed on for the Fantastic Four movie, which would have been great because then it would have been an excuse to sort of recreate that cover of like Spider-Man on the Baxter Building and things like that. I was excited to see John Watts without the parameters of the Sony deal,
the legal
like being
situation,
juggled between 2 studios. I would like to see him be like, here's my vision for a comic book thing. People banning about, because Peyton Reed was up for doing the Fantastic Four thing. I'm like, let's kind of let him do Ant-Man, and then maybe. I don't want us to go the way of, like when DC were like, let's just get Zack Snyder to do them all. But
if you were to cast a replacement director, who would you put in charge of Fantastic Four then, or overseeing it? Who would you put? Because I don't want to picture it, but I can't help but think Zack Snyder's Fantastic Four. It'll be 2015 all over again.
No, he would never do.
No.
Like, because you want to find that voice, like, because Destin Daniel Cretton's like a fucking find. Was it David F. Sandberg that did Shazam?
Shazam, yep.
I mean, you want fun family like feel, which is I think why you sort of got John Watts, because it was like he'd done sort of the teen
drama movie.
Yeah, and then it was like, here's the family drama kind of thing. I don't know. Maybe I'll have to come back. I'll have a think and say it in the past, maybe, because at the moment I don't know, because there's a lot of directors banned about in my head, but I wouldn't want to just be like,
this one. Yeah.
let's have so and so, and let's not click on that image so Connor can see it. That's bad.
Oh.
I nearly ruined it. That
something.
Black Adam is in Multiverse of... I'm joking.
The Rock's in it. Something I actually didn't know about.
Yeah, go.
Project that is coming to Disney Plus at some point in the form of Ironheart. Did you know that the character Ironheart is making their first appearance in Wakanda Forever?
Yeah, Riri Williams is in Wakanda Forever. That was a few months ago.
I didn't click in my brain cells. I found out through browsing.
Have they cast her yet, Riri Williams?
Dominique Thorne?
Yes. So I think this was 4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah.
So yeah. So Ryan Coogler's juggling a lot of shit. So good luck. Yeah. So what is it? Miss Marvel. The release of Miss Marvel in Pakistan is a little bit different. I don't know if you've seen this.
I've not, no. Okay.
So it will. They're making it sort of like it's like a little event thing, really. That so it will premiere in cinemas.
Oh, fair
but
enough.
they're going to do 2 episodes in theaters each week.
Oh, okay.
So it's who was it that did it? So it was.
It's released.
Shamima Bade Shinoy. I'm sorry if I butchered the name. Big announcement. I have exciting news to share. An Eid present for. Oh, yeah, happy Eid, everyone that celebrates it.
Yeah.
And a need present for Pakistan. We are bringing Miss Marvel to theatres across the country. Be released in cinemas. The Walt Disney Company and Marvel Studios have a special announcement to make. Marvel Studios' new original series Miss Marvel will be released exclusively in cinemas only in Pakistan through their licensed entertainment. Disney and Marvel will be specifically creating a cinema format version of the 6 episodes for Pakistan, split into 3 parts. So episode 1 and 2 will be shown on the 16th of June, 3 and 4 the 30th, and 5 and 6 the 14th of July. The decision has been made to celebrate the introduction of the first Pakistani Marvel superhero Kamala Khan, played by Aman Vellani, into the MCU. The series will also feature a diverse cast in front of and behind the camera. Disney and Marvel did not want Pakistani audiences to miss out on seeing Miss Marvel and her story, as Disney Plus has not yet launched in their country. This is a wonderful Eid poster designed by Shenzlim, which is that little post yesterday.
Okay. Oh,
so that's a cool thing.
That's a cool thing. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that it had not released over there. So it's nice that they've taken the time of like, well, this superhero is like your culture, and we like want you to feel as included
as possible.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. Oh, I'm happy for them. That's good. I'm excited about that.
So here's a theory from Multiverse of Madness.
Oh.
If Patrick Stewart is playing the Professor X variant from the 95 X-Men animated series...
Who is 95 X-Men series? Who is this?
What if we get John Krasinski to play Mr. Fantastic from the 1994 Fantastic Four animated series?
Yes! Yes!
But would that be wasting him as not having him as the MCU version?
True, but then who's to say that you can't have his face?
If he is in it, I want him to be in it as this universe's
the
version.
One. Yeah,
I don't want him as
said this for years.
I don't want it as a throwaway thing of
No.
You've all wanted,
I'm from The Office.
You've all wanted John Krasinski. Here's him as a fucking variant,
as a wooden cardboard cutout of Mr. or Fantastic Boner. He's Ralph Broner's cousin or brother.
Kevin Feige is currently at a Marvel Studios creative team retreat to plan out the next 10 years of MCU projects.
Yeah, oh great.
Doctor Strange is the first one that says a Kevin Feige production, which they've started putting on. I think it was Hawkeye was the first one that said a Kevin Feige production, because Moon Knight says it.
Moon Knight says it
in the end credits.
Moon Knight did.
I think Hawkeye might say it, and this will be the first film where it's like
Kevin Feige film.
A Kevin Feige production, because the man is Jesus Christ of filmmaking. Well, he's not really, because that would insult some Christians, but no, they never fucking insulted.
Martin Scorsese, cool down.
Tobey Maguire confirmed to play Charlie Chaplin in Damien Chazelle's Babylon.
Yeah, because he was sort of undisclosed for the longest amount of time, even before No Way Home got released. I kind of knew he was in making some sort of Hollywood comeback, but then just confirmed.
Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah.
Call it a tissue. Loki season 2 starts filming in like 6 weeks, according to Tom Hiddleston. We're in full steam ahead in terms of a script and story. Well, if you're shooting in 6 weeks, I hope you've bloody got a story, lad.
Yeah, because Kate Herron, who
she's not
involved in this,
which I hope is not a creative like fallout. I hope that's just a sort of going like, I've got another thing that I want to do, or I don't want to get stuck doing this. But she was great, and hopefully there's someone on board that's gonna do it justice. So the other Avatar sequels, so you got Way of the Water.
Way of Water.
And then so we got one every 2 years apparently, but they've been delayed since fucking 2012. So like, let's fucking
not hold your horses.
Avatar 3, The Seed Bearer.
Okay.
December 20th, 24. Avatar 4, The Tolkien Rider. Okay. December 18th, 2026.
Okay.
And the final part of, so they're all said to be self-contained stories, but there's like, there will be growth and development and kind of an arc.
An arc of
even though the first film was 12 years ago.
Oh dear.
No, 13 by the time it comes out. Avatar 5, The Quest for Eywa. December 22nd, 2028.
See, but Eywa, right, fun fact,
so
Eywa
nearly
is
20
is the very first word spoken in 2009's Avatar. I reckon that's the arc right there.
But
the meaning
nearly 20 years after the first one.
Can you imagine
the fifth
Marvel Phase 1 every 10 years? We'd only just be getting up
if
to
Iron Man,
imagine
if Iron Man came out and then 12 years later we got Incredible Hulk.
That's what I'm saying.
And we're gonna have Incredible Hulk. We're gonna have Iron Man 2, and like Robert Downey Jr. is 75. But speaking of 20 years,
20 years?
today, 20 years ago,
Oh my god, yeah.
Spider-Man.
Sam Raimi Spider-Man, yeah.
And it's almost like he's releasing a film this week.
No, it can't be that convenient. Surely not. Surely not.
I wouldn't be surprised. Because obviously originally the 27th we were getting Obi-Wan, which was 40 years
of New Hope. Yeah.
Yeah.
45th or something of A New Hope.
Yeah, something like that. I tried to work out the years before and just went cross-eyed.
77.
But now it's 2 days later. But because obviously they do coincidences like that, like the fact that I don't think it's a coincidence we got Kingpin and Daredevil back in the same week.
Same week, yeah, absolutely. That was planned.
Literally a day apart. That was the last time we went to the cinema together.
Yeah, together.
Yeah. I would be at the 11 o'clock one, but I've got stuff to do.
No, mate, I get it. It's fine. I know, I get it. It's fine. It's just I'm not blaming COVID, but honestly, the way I am I haven't changed my sleeping pattern, but my body's fucked, and it honestly makes me want to it makes me asleep.
I get that.
Longer.
Like I'm like
I've not been the same since having it. It's weird.
I've not felt tired, but like I'll stay up later, and then I just feel like overtired, like I've slept too much, and I'm like, what the fuck? Maybe I'm just preparing for the onslaught of sleepless nights, but I don't know. I do want to just see Bullet Train though, like really badly. I just keep watching the trailer because it's so fucking good.
Crazy and creative, yeah.
DC wise, we got Legends of Tomorrow has been officially cancelled at the CW.
I was googling it last night. There's literally only 2 shows running. There's The Flash, which has got season 9 somehow. I mean, not dissing The Flash.
Well, dissing The Flash, but it's shit.
Well, I haven't seen the last few. I'm up to season 4, I think I'm on.
Do you know what? I gave up after 3 because it was like, this is
the
just
whole Savitar thing. Yeah.
Well, just because it's like it's always another speedster, and I was like, I've enjoyed what I watched. I enjoyed.
Yes.
It's like with Arrow.
So
like the first 3-4 seasons of Arrow are just solid, and then it's like we're just making him Batman because we don't have a Batman because we can't mention him on TV. Bye.
Because of legal reasons. Bye. Yeah, exactly.
Batwoman's cancelled.
Yeah.
Which is a shame because you've got a completely new lead who's representative of other communities and cultures.
Yeah, but she had season. That was so.
Did she get season 2?
Yeah, Ruby. What's in it? Ruby
Rose. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that's the character from Orange Is the New Black, but whatever.
That's the woman who plays her.
Well, there we go. Yeah, so she left after season 1. Then she got the replacement, got season 2, and then season 3. But then after
that's cancelled. No, that's
no
yeah. So what's just left? Flash and Supergirl, but Supergirl's ending.
Superman and Lois. Supergirl ended, I think, last.
Oh yeah, because that was the last season.
Season 6.
Superman and Lois, from what I've seen, it's okay.
I've heard it's okay.
I feel like the CW universe has just collapsed in on itself.
They are.
It's
2 shows to carry.
It's gone the way of the Warner Brothers.
Even Black Lightning. Even Black Lightning, which was the Netflix. Not at first,
but
involved.
they got it tied in.
That was after season 4, I think, cancelled as well this year.
Jesus.
So yeah, honestly, they've got 2
it's
shows
like
left to carry.
They don't know what they're doing, which they kind of don't. But
it's Warner Brothers. They says it all.
It's just a shame because like there's a point where that universe was really fun, interesting, and vibrant. Like Green Arrow launched the Flash.
Yeah, I know.
And then they always have their crossover.
More powerful than the movies as well.
Yeah. And there's the reason that
and then
Ezra Miller got introduced in
Crisis on Infinite Earths.
Yeah,
Crisis on Infinite Earths. That was it. I had to think about it.
But yes,
with their petty crossovers.
Too many crossovers. Just like there's too many Fast and Furious films.
Oh yeah.
But Justin Lin has quit Fast and Furious 10
more
ahead of they're in pre-production now, aren't they? No, they're in principle. And it's rumoured to be because of Vin Diesel.
Of course.
Diesel shows up late on the set. He doesn't know his lines, and he shows up out of shape, which further adds to the ego that he's got. Because obviously falling out with Dwayne Johnson, trying to, publicly goad him into coming back, only for Dwayne Johnson to be like, "Look, we had this whole meeting, like we had a talk ages ago because of like the way you'd been and that, and I'm not coming back," kind of thing. It's like, he does seem like an egotistical. Because any fan art he's posted of them two was edited to make him slightly taller than Dwayne Johnson, which is not the case.
Deary me.
Because it's Fast and Furious 10 and 11, even though it's 10 part 1 and 2.
Yeah, it seems to be a trend lately. Yeah.
But it makes sense of like, yeah, we're doing 10 films and we're stopping, but the last one's a two-parter. So technically we get 11 films.
Got you there.
It's a series that kind of, I think in the end it overstayed its welcome. Maybe it should have ended after 7.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I enjoyed Fate of the Furious.
I did. It was fun. Jason Statham on the plane rescuing the baby.
And it tied up the whole thing with Owen Shaw as well. Might maybe stop it there. Like, and then you've got 9, which I've still not seen, but Connor went to see it in the cinema and was like, this is shit.
Yeah.
Because of the whole space thing. Because did you see it?
Yes. It was one of the first few... It was arguably like the first sort of big release to get people back. Because it was a packed theatre. It was like the May or June, literally a few weeks after they reopened.
Yeah.
And
Talk to the microphone, love.
yeah. In the long run, yeah, shit. He didn't do anything. He didn't rock 2021 as hard as some other movies did later in the year. It was fine. I can't remember it, to be honest. John Cena, I mean, you could see him. You could see him.
It's just like adding Love Lane. I've got a brother you didn't know about,
Yeah,
and the villain we fought had a brother and a sister and a mother, and Hobbs and Shaw was fun.
It was. And
More of that.
yeah.
But
Probably not.
even after that he's done, so it's kind of
Exactly,
a shame
probably
because
not.
we got Ryan Reynolds in a Fast and Furious movie, sort of, and that was quite...
Yeah. Should have been Deadpool in it. He should have been playing Deadpool.
Nah. the Deadpool cinematic universe, motherfucker.
Where's that Lamborghini?
Who do we get to direct it? No one knows.
Someone that likes cars. Michael Bay.
You know what? For the finale,
Just
why
do
not?
it. Yeah, Michael
Because it's
Bay.
going to be ridiculous, explosive. They're going to probably bring back Paul Walker's character.
Yeah,
Even though
somehow.
they shouldn't.
With his brother being
Body
like,
doubles
the
as
body
well.
double, yeah.
But yeah, they shouldn't do that. But, you know, they
are.
teased it at the end of 8. I don't know if they did it 9. But, because 8,
Part
his
of
car
me-
pulls up and then it's like...
Yeah, because I think number 9, they have a barbecue, and I swear it's implied that it's Paul's
Because
car.
Mia's in 9,
Yeah,
isn't
she
she?
is
So
in-
it would make
yes.
sense for him to come pick his wife
Because I
up.
think, it ends with them all of them having a family barbecue at Mia's house.
That's what I'm thinking of, because in 8
Yeah.
he names his son Brian.
Brian,
And
yeah.
it's like, why are you naming it in an emotional way after someone who's meant to be alive in this universe? But obviously it's like clearly because it's after.
Yeah.
Paramount Plus UK has a launch date.
Does it?
Yes.
Oh.
CEO Bob Backish has revealed that Paramount Plus will launch on the 22nd of June in the UK,
That's quick. June.
which is because just
June?
before Discovery season 3, we had the whole thing that they were pulling their stuff and putting it on Paramount Plus.
Right. Okay.
But obviously, like, we only had access to Discovery through Netflix and Picard through Amazon Prime. Has Picard been cancelled?
I hope for Patrick Stewart's sake, no.
Oh, he's a very busy
I mean,
man.
Who is Patrick Stewart?
Who is Jean-Luc Picard?
Picard season 3. Alison Pill won't return for season 3.
Oh dear.
I mean, it's not Patrick Stewart as far as I'm aware. Season 3 is happening.
Oh.
Casting of other Next Generation cast members was confirmed in April 2022. Season expected to premiere in early 2023. So yeah, it's
that's
happening.
happening.
It's
Oh.
still happening.
So I thought it was cancelled because that's
No.
poorly received, but I enjoy Picard. Of what I've seen of the Picard man.
The Picard
The
man.
Picard man
Does that
waiting out
take
in
place-
space.
Does that take place after Next Generation? Or is it in its own little pocket universe?
It's the
or what is it?
it's the furthest in the original timeline
Okay.
because
Yes.
obviously Next Gen is the next generation. It's after the original series, and obviously you have like Kirk in the films and gets killed off and blah blah blah, and they go on and do Next Generation-y things. But this is set after that, like he's older,
He's old and
like
sort
he's-
of retired.
yeah, and it gives you Logan vibe. Have you not watched it?
No, I've not.
It's a bit like Logan vibes in terms of like there's a young girl that needs
Okay.
help.
He's
He's on a
saving.
farm.
Okay.
He's old,
So he's old man
and I'm
Hawkeye.
fucking 90.
He's old man Hawkeye Xavier. Yeah,
Literally.
okay. Fair enough.
But it's cool because he's like got
Still bald from the looks of it though, from the poster. He
Oh, still
hasn't got
bald,
long
but
hair. He ain't
no.
like literally old man Logan.
no,
But Patrick
he's
Stewart.
he's
old man Picard.
he literally, you remember that he's old because like you have like this thing where he's running and then afterwards he's just knackered and just trying to catch his breath, and you're like, oh yeah, at this point in
poor
his
guy.
life he's probably like nearing 100
Poor guy.
because obviously
Oh.
it's set way off because he was like in his 40s.
When he
Like the
did
character
Next
Picard's meant to be
Generation.
like in his 40s in Next Gen, so it's obviously like he's, in meant to be somewhere around his 90s or longer lifespans in space.
Oh, okay.
Speaking of longer lifespans, it is time to talk finally about the 6-part event. Imagine if I just cut the episode off and we never actually speak about Moon Knight.
6-part.
That's the thing. Moon Knight, the 6-part Disney Plus series that concluded filming. Concluded
for good.
It concluded today on Wednesday the 5th. Wednesday the 4th of May.
Roughly 8 a.m. over here, UK time, GMT. When it launches for us.
So we've got the final episode, which doesn't have a title. Like they've all got titles.
In a minute. No, it don't. It probably will by the time we get on. Be tonight.
Lock and Key. Lockley and Key.
Oh. Season 2 no more. Wink, wink.
Give that Isaac an Oscar.
Give that guy. Okay, shall we just come out the bat? Season 2 has not been confirmed as time of recording.
Oscar Isaac is not confirmed.
Past or in the future.
As yet.
It hasn't been confirmed yet. But they're all keen to come back. They all have
they're little keen beans.
This didn't end with a stamp saying Moon Knight will return in Season 2, like Loki style. It didn't confirm it.
So let's...
We'll deny it.
Off the bat, how did you rate Moon Knight as a complete show?
I think, again... I'll say it at the minute because it's still in my head, but I think overall, personally, my favourite. Again, this is the effect of the Guardians of the Ant-Mans. Who the hell is this character? But now, even during the show, they're now a household name in my eyes. And I'm even reading the comics. I've read about nearly 50 issues of the original run. Like that's how obsessed this show is made.
Did you do that, Marvel Unlimited?
Yeah, Marvel Unlimited, yeah. I mean, I don't have the room for comics.
I want the room for comics, but I don't.
I don't have the room for comics.
Because what did you do? Did you pay up for the year?
I think I did, yes.
Because it's only like 50 quid, something like that. So we've got you're actually reading comics, because I haven't been down to because we should go to the comic book store in Stevenage, because it's fucking sick.
It's fucking fun, yeah.
It is, it's nice, because it's just like,
I'd grab a couple of omnibuses. I know HMV do a few, but I always look at them and go, which one do I buy? Which one's the oldest one?
Like with the, like, trade back ones, you can it's obviously easier to fit them all into like you do this and this instead of like having it issue by issue. But
yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, what have you thought of? Did you start reading it after watching episode 1?
I think I started maybe after episode 2. I think that was when I literally opened
has it
and read it.
Changed your perspective on the character? Because I love Moon Knight and I never thought we'd get him at all.
At all.
I didn't think we'd ever get to the point where like, here's Moon Knight, and
this is Moon Knight,
and this is the first thing of the year. It's come before She-Hulk,
not this year,
and Miss Marvel, but
maybe
it feels
maybe in another 5, but not.
It feels like weird to be saying that we're getting like She-Hulk would naturally be like it's just like another version. Like people it's like another version of the Hulk.
Yeah.
Miss Marvel, like it's just she's just a fan of Captain Marvel.
And Mr. Fantastic, look, her arms can move. See.
But now it's just weird astral projection thing, kind of like Green Lantern.
Yeah, who's that?
I love it because it's just stupid, and I love the whole thing that in the comics that you got with this show of. Has any of this actually happened?
Exactly. The
or
ambiguity,
is this all in his head?
The ambiguity and the mystery week to week, even after the finale, the last 5 minutes gave me so much doubt in the last 5 minutes. I thought, what has that all been in the asylum? Jumping ahead a little bit. Like, was it all in his head? Was it all in the? I was so lost at that moment.
I was lost for 2 episodes, but now I am found. So, Oscar Isaac is fucking amazing.
Yes, he's playing. Well.
3 versions.
Let's just say 3, because I mean we've kind of been saying
it gets teased, so we can talk about it. So like
we'll reveal it. Yeah.
Oscar Isaac is Stephen Grant, who is a worker in a museum gift shop.
Yeah.
Who's British. He lives in London. He talks like that.
According to Isaac, wasn't part of the original thing, and Isaac's all did it on the day, like in his audition.
I think it's good because
he made it up.
He has made them 2 completely different characters, and having that distinguishability of these are 2 completely different, because it's been clear that with the 3rd one it's been less easy to pick up because it's been in terms of having an American accent. Like Oscar Isaac, like Stephen Grant finds out that he's got this sleep apnea thing, like doesn't know whether like he's dreaming or whether he's awake, and then he's got
Every day I wake up. Dissociative identity disorder, DID, which is a real unfortunately a real concern for some people out there in the world. It's a real thing.
But he, stuff happened, like there's someone else in his body, and that turns out to be Mark Spector.
Mark Spector.
Who is the original, thing of Moon Knight. Stephen Grant is another alias. There is a third one that we do get confirmed by the end of this.
This whole season,
because Oscar Isaac is basically his own accent for Mark Spector, and then he's British for Stephen Grant to distinguish the characters, means that the third persona, a lot of people don't really pick up on it unless you're like, that's more like a Brooklyn hard accent, that kind of don't agree with you, Doc, and it's and briefly having a moustache.
Yeah, briefly.
He doesn't have it, but anyway, it's the Mark Wahlberg problem.
We won't bore you with every little detail we found. Yeah,
but it starts with him ending up in, was it Germany or something like that, where he is in episode 1, and the whole cupcake van, and the way it just starts off with he blacks out and then wakes up, and so obviously. But
even we as the audience, so it starts off with him in Stephen in his London flat, in his London gift shop, basically giving us through the day in the life of Stephen Grant and how boring it is, in the nicest way, to Oscar Isaac, because he fucking sells it and overperforms the fuck out of it. And I instantly, from those first 10-15 minutes, I was like, no, this is going to be a unique and different show, and this is going to, this has won me over already. And then, like you say, something, again, it escapes me, something else happens, and his eyes shut, and next thing you know, he's in a field in Germany. He's in Germany. We, as the audience, don't know exactly what's gone on.
Ethan Hawke's there.
Yeah, Ethan Hawke is there.
Glass in his shoes.
Which, again, that's how the show begins. It's some guy putting his foot in sandals. So, again, what a weird intro to a show. Ethan Hawke as a fucking villain, who, I say villain, but then as the show goes on, you sort of learn more about his character and his belief. And I say that they're unique to say the least, but I kind of liked Ethan Hawke. I wonder. Oh fuck! that's Khonshu's Yushanti. Oh, thank you, mate. Jeez.
Costco
Ladies, gators.
Just need to get rid of them. There's fucking loads. There was 50 in there. So I really I like the whole stuff at the beginning, the whole setup of the mystery of what's going on, why is he blacking out? But obviously fans of the comic are like, it's because there's more than one man in his head. And when we get the episode 1 concluding with give me control of the body, and Mark takes over, and then you see Moon Knight in his costume. So Khonshu imbues him with the powers of the Moon God, and basically sort of being almost Ghost Rider-y, he's his fist of justice and
spirit of vengeance and whatever.
Yeah, essentially, yeah.
They're tied, yeah.
And but not in a blood pact and I'm going to kill your dad with cancer kind of way. It's thank God.
No, thank God.
But
yeah.
Yeah, so
not
it's
for Disney Plus.
Not yet. But so it ends with that, and then you get the benefit of the second episode learning more about Mark, because it all just, when he discovers that phone is flat, it's why are you calling me Mark?
Yeah. Why did you call me Mark?
And the whole thing of oh, this is someone else that's in his body. And as that goes on, we'll talk about how that's just a wonderful payoff. But Mark and Layla are married.
Yes, they're married.
They're Indiana Jones style treasure hunters.
Yep.
Well, at least she thinks Mark's always been, because he was a mercenary who killed her dad.
And a bunch of people, yeah. Who, again, aspects leaning into, I say, the original comics, because we find out that he had a partner named Bushman, who did get name dropped. He isn't the secret villain of this series, but it's nice that he was confirmed to have existed. And basically, the origin of Moon Knight is the same as the original comics.
Mm-hmm.
He died, Khonshu resurrected him, he sort of knelt in front of the statue and he said, "You will be my Moon Knight." He literally says, "You will be my Moon Knight." So again, it was nice how accurate of a nod it was directly to the original 1980s comic. Yeah, 1980, I think, 1981.
Ages into the 90s, it was a big thing of let's make mentally ill Batman. But Batman is mentally ill, because he beats up mentally ill people. Just this one's not rich.
This one's not rich. Whereas Stephen in the comics is more like the philanthropist, Bruce Wayne, the socialite, the showman.
Yeah.
Whereas in this show, Stephen Grant is a
they're all kind of they've all the personalities, like they're all
distinct and different.
and they're also sort of like they don't come from well-off places. Like
No.
you learn, like we'll get into, like we'll try and do the episodes in order, but like you learn like from his childhood that Mark had a fucking shit upbringing.
Shit, yeah, to say the least. Even for Disney Plus, I was like, oh, this is getting a bit deep here.
We got the fact that Khonshu then imbued Stephen Powers when he was in control of the suit, because he's like his version of, and I like that it became like his version of the suit was, so he's
I love
Mr. Knight.
Mr. Knight, yeah. I'm so glad
and that's
they put
how we
in
got
it.
him.
Mm.
Deadpool vanilla, essentially. Kind of felt like a road test for that, but it works because like it was like sort of like quipping and talking to himself, but then that's the whole thing of the character because he's always in his own head.
Yeah.
For more reasons than one that we learn later. And he starts trying to break it down with Layla because obviously he's like fascinated with Egyptology and stuff and the gods and that, because from working in the museum and like he proves from just working in the gift shop that he knows an awful lot about the gods and all that kind of stuff. So like in terms of like breaking down the clues, it's like, you know, switching up and like the switch between like one being in control of the body and the other is just great.
Yeah.
Like even getting to the point of in episode 4 when so like as like Mark's married to Layla, or was, and like they're like, going through some shit or whatever, but
it's complicated.
and Stephen just like is fucking enamored with her, and like when Stephen kisses her, and then like Mark takes control and punches themselves in the face, and then he's like,
good
whoop. Fucking brilliant. I think he's doing a lot of the heavy lifting because it's as much as there's other people in this, it's a very small class.
As in Mark Stephen or Oscar Isaac?
Oscar Isaac's doing a lot of the heavy lifting because it's basically a 3-prong cast. It's in reality just
Oscar Isaac, May Calumet, I've probably butchered her surname, as Layla, the love interest,
and Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke's the villain, Arthur Harrow, and then F. Murray Abrahams, the voice of Khonshu, the weird pigeon god inside his head.
Just trusting that bloody pigeon.
That bloody pigeon.
That was a good moment.
That was great. Calling him a pigeon.
So I like all that. I like the fact that, you know, because Khonshu like chooses his avatar, like it's hard to sort of get out of that arrangement. Because Harrow was previously an avatar for Khonshu, and then is following the deity Ammit, who judges people before they commit their crimes. So it's the whole Winter Soldier thing of like you're killing people before they've actually become evil, because you're basing it off of actions that you don't even know that they will even do.
So essentially, as Stephen points out, it would be like going back in time, killing a baby, or like say baby Hitler before he.
It's even done it, kind of thing, yeah.
But then that's when he sort of draws a line. It's humorous, but it's funny, but not. It's sort of like, oh, so you'd fine with killing children? Because I draw a line at that.
Yeah, like, that's kind of not cool for me.
That's kind of not cool with that.
They get shot in episode 4.
They do
in the temple once, because Khonshu is deemed to be basically a menace to the entire Egyptology department, and gets him into gets entombed in stone.
Ushapti, Egyptian statue thing. Yeah,
yes,
Ushapti.
And obviously then that, you know, takes away the powers from Mark and Stephen, and they don't have the ability to have the suit. After a wonderful visual bit of when like he's turning back the sky at night to see, that's fucking
amazing sequence. Yeah,
trippy as balls, but the show looks great.
It did. Actors. The Gaspard Ulliel, the actor that passed away before the show.
He was only in one episode, wasn't
he?
The
Midnight Man, minor villain, but Midnight Man in episode 3. I think least favourite episode. I think episode 3. Just because I liked the whole Stephen Mark split thing, you know, them bickering amongst each other. This episode 3 was more of a let's just get on with it.
That's the plot of thing forward. So like you set out the stakes early. It's pretty simple in terms of that. But then episode 3 ends with them getting shot.
Yeah. No, that's 4. How did 3
No, because there's 2 in the asylum.
There's 1.
There's 2.
That's episode 5.
No, there's 2 in there. Quickly watch the end of episode 3.
Watch it. Fucking, we're doing it live.
Quickly watch the end of episode 3 with the sound off.
I thought episode 3 was when they do the moon spin thing.
No, because you had 2.
The hell? Are we thinking of different shows?
I feel like there was, because I haven't seen him be Moon Knight for at least 2 and a bit weeks.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
once you-
it has been 2 weeks.
So you do that. So watch episode 3 and then watch to the end.
Yeah, I'll just fast forward it. Legally, of course.
Yeah, just the sound down so we don't get copyright infringement. But Mark and Stephen get shot without the powers of Khonshu
Yeah.
and
Man.
presumably die, but then they
dies.
wake up in an
Somewhere.
asylum.
Arkham
And
Asylum.
then you spend what was definitely at least
And
one episode,
yeah.
maybe
Arkham.
2.
One and a half.
Go on, scroll down.
Yeah, 1.5.
Yeah,
Because we kind of skipped the trial, or we did mention the trial. I don't know. Did we
Yeah, so
mention
that's
the
when
trial?
he gets entombed there, and then that's the tomb when he has no powers, because obviously that's the 3 is Spinny Night Sky,
Yeah, 3 is
4
Night
is
Sky.
going in the
Indiana
tomb.
Jones and Lara Croft Tomb Raider.
Yeah.
Go in and explore stuff. Yeah.
So episode 5 was just it's because it ends.
Episode 4 is the hey, and then and he's like, ah! And then that's where it ends. And then last week's was hit them in the asylum.
Yes. Do you know what it was? It's just because it felt
Yeah.
like that a lot happened in those that it kind of felt like 2 different episodes.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah, so he gets shot, and then they wake up in this asylum, and it's just Mark, and you see all things that you saw in
Well, yeah.
the thing. Like you
In
see the
the
man he
show.
was talking to is the living statue. He's called in the bingo in this mental asylum. You have Layla's one of the mental patients. He's tethered to a chair, which is the same thing that happens when he
When
tries
he's
to get
dead.
out of bed.
Mm.
You have the goldfish tank. You have all these kind of things, and Ethan Hawke is the doctor in it. He's the doctor of this asylum, and it's like, is this then all of that? Was that all in his head? Like, was all of the first 4 episodes in his head? But then as Asylum goes on, it's implied that like the state of where he was outside and fighting and things like that is due to him being when he's heavily medicated, and that's the thing he sees because of his imagination and his dissociative identity disorder.
Yeah, DID.
But we learn that he breaks out Stephen, like Stephen's encased in a tomb. There's a third one that they don't.
Yeah, sarcophagus. Yeah, which they don't.
Which they linger
bring
on
up.
just for too long, and
Yeah.
as fans of the comic, we're like, that's Jake
That's got to be
Lockley,
Jake, surely.
who's the everyday cabman. But in this one, he's a mass murderer. He's more of a mercenary than Mark
He's
is.
a hitman. He's a hitman. Yeah.
He's Agent 49.
With
But-
hair and a cap.
But so that, and because you get teasers like in the tomb of like a different person speaking with a mustache, and it's a Brooklyn accent. And it's like, but Stephen just takes that as that's Mark, but he just doesn't notice
Yeah.
because they have
Yes.
things like I didn't kill him, well you didn't kill him, I didn't kill him. Like who was it?
Who was it?
Which you had in this last episode, which was like Mark, Stephen, that wasn't you. I was like, nothing to do with me.
Nothing to do with me. That was
Because
Doctor Strange.
because that's the first time we get another blackout thing. But
Yeah.
so it's the whole thing of I like the whole being transported to the afterlife by what's the hippo?
Tawet, the goddess Tawet.
Yeah, who transports the souls to the afterlife. If their
the
scales
field
are
of
balanced
reeds.
and their hearts are full, they can live out in eternal paradise in the field of reeds.
Yeah, move on.
If not, their souls will be doomed to the sand forever, which
The
Stevens does, because there's demons that are trying to get him,
Yeah.
and Stephen gets knocked overboard and freezes in the sand.
But I love how the demons are the people that he's killed as well. They're not like demonic
Yes.
Mephisto figures. They
which
are
gives
just
it
the
more of a thing
people.
of like you've done this
Personal,
to yourself,
yeah.
but in that you get the whole thing of that Harrow's sending people to the grave before like they've even
Yeah.
committed the things because their
Yes.
souls are coming down and like they've not even been.
We saw in this week's episode, today's episode. Yeah. Yeah.
Which you had that last week as well, like when they're on the boat and they're all coming down. It's like, because she even makes Tawet makes a comment like, "Oh, this like shouldn't be happening because like
Yes.
this hasn't even happened." Blah 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 blah. And you assume like, is this all in his head? You don't know because it keeps flipping between the two, and you kind of really doubt yourself in the last 4 weeks of television. But
Honestly, yeah.
but
I
then
think that's the comics true and true. Like even whichever writers made whatever runs, because I mean I understand that the DID aspect of the character was more from like a 2006 or 7
Yeah,
run.
it was
but
more
don't
adapted,
ask
like,
me
later
which
on.
one it is because I don't know. I'm reading comics, but I'm not familiar with writers and creators and who made what and stuff. Like, I'm slowly getting the hang of names, but I think it was a 2006 run which then established Stephen and Mark and Jake as 3 distinct personas inside one body, whereas in the original runs, the ones I'm reading, it's one person, Mark Spector, who uses sort of disguises aliases as Stephen, Mark, and Jake. to his advantage.
And it's less of a talking. It's just because the whole thing with that is he imbued with the powers? Is he just mental? Like, is it all in his head? But then obviously that.
Or is he just a smart guy figuring it out? Yeah.
Comes into it more and more as it goes on because he is just fucking phenomenal character.
Phenomenal, yeah.
And I hope this isn't the last we've seen of him because Layla breaks Khonshu out of the
Ushabti, the statue thing.
Because we finally go back to actual ancient Egypt instead of being in that asylum, and it's like
Arkham Asylum. Yeah.
So it is. So we left the notion of we assume that everything is real and the Doctor stuff was in his head or like through Harrow doing something.
Yeah.
Because Harrow is dressed as in his Doctor persona when he's captured at the end.
Yeah.
But then he's
in number 5, Mark and Stephen talk to themselves, and that's when they figure out. And when Towret is talking to them and outside, they say, "Oh, this is some sort of purgatory," and that's when they say it's some sort of like ancestral plane. That's where it was like the first sort of big link to the MCU.
Yeah, because it talks about the Black Panther. Oh, that one's so beautiful.
He said purgatory, and I was like, oh, so it's the afterlife. So they have died. But then, like you say, sort of the last 5 minutes of this one.
But it does make you believe that it's like that's real.
Is this real? Is this open or what?
But because Harrow releases Amnet because he wants to prove to her and please her and gather all these souls and condemn bad people
and live an eternal life and whatever. Yeah.
Layla frees Khonshu and like, I need an avatar because Mark's dead.
Yeah. No, I told you
I
no.
told you no, but she does Wonder Woman turret powers, which is cool because I like that. Then it's like that's the sort of Deus Ex Machina is like, well, even together, them. The two as one are still like no match for this giant alligator. The only scene I didn't really like
was when the temple was collapsing and then she's all like groaning and hurt. She's like oh god, and then she's like, now Layla, we're going to team up and kick some ass, and we are humorous and we're temporary host. I promise. Layla! I'll let you go. And then she's like,
I think she'll let her go, but she'll just keep on to it because like obviously she's not as much of a.
We don't get her addressed in the ending. Like, what happened to Layla? We don't know what happened to her.
She's still got her powers, as far as we know.
We assume that her and Mark are together.
I love the her, Mark, and Stephen in a polyamorous relationship.
Yeah, she's living the best of both. She's dating 2 guys in one body. I mean,
both love her a lot. I love the you see what we've got in our skill sets, and the fact that it, like, because you've had times like in episode 3 when he's getting stabbed up. It's like, take the body, Mark, take the body, Mark. But now it's literally like. They are free to flick between each other because we learn through episode 5 that
they basically accepted each other.
Stephen is a creation of Mark because Mark was abused as a child by his mother because
biggest villain so far.
Yeah, he was the cause of his brother's death on a rainy day, very heavy rain style. But,
yeah.
Jason!
I'm surprised Sony weren't involved in this episode.
Stephen! But because he gets beaten by his mother, he and it's really sad because it's like when Oscar Isaac was talking about this is a real character study, it's like you get it. Like this is the episode where you're like, this is why this is here and important.
How he is.
And it's like he creates Stephen to sort of like get it.
Suppress the feelings and sort of, in his words, live the life that he wanted to live.
Yeah. Because he says to Stephen, like, you got to imagine Mum as someone who'd like loving you, but like she beat the shit out of me, kind of thing. And that whole resolution is just beautiful and poignant, and like it's basically like them learning about each other, accepting each other, and when anything bad happens and like it's upsetting, like Stephen comes out and he sort of like it's like when almost like seeing emotion turns him into Stephen, and Stephen's almost like a thing of like just pure wonder and just sort of like obliviousness.
Mystery and joy. Yeah, he'd be like a good Doctor Who companion, the character of Stephen Grant.
What happened? Like, I haven't heard from your mum in ages, but he doesn't realise that.
I understand, Doctor. You knew Bradley Walsh. I'm a big fan of Chase. I love the Chase.
Yeah, but like he didn't understand that his mum was dead, and that's why she's never been answered. He's been leaving her voicemails.
What do you mean? My mum's been exterminated? I saw her.
Oh no! You better not. You better be having a laugh. Are you having a laugh as well?
What do you mean, Doc? Doc, what's up, Doc?
But it's fucking brilliant, and it's just so sad. It's literally just harrowing and fucking. It's deep, and it's so well done, and the acting in that is just like phenomenal. So that's why he was created. Yeah. He literally gives himself a disorder to kind of just hide from his fucking shitty childhood,
dark feelings,
but manifested in obviously with the powers of Khonshu has elevated it to a point where they are 2 different people, but they are of the same mind and body, and that's more than two, but
Yeah, more than true. Yeah.
one we don't
More
know
than
about.
true,
Well,
yeah.
they don't know about, because
Yeah,
even in
they
the final
don't.
episode where they're
Khonshu
fighting,
was aware of him. Yeah.
yeah, even in the final episode they're fighting,
Harrow.
and they're flicking between like beautifully, like a thing of, and the way their fighting styles are different, but they
Yeah.
complement each other. It's almost like it's almost like they are two people teaming up in a fight, but
Yeah,
it's just
just in the
switching
same
between the
body.
body, and it's fucking brilliant.
Yeah, because
the way
whereas
that's done.
all in the last 5 episodes, they had to cleverly do a cinematic trick of like moving the camera there, then Stephen would be in the suit, and then there he is. There's Moon Knight. There's Stephen. Whereas in this, Stephen gets kicked the shit in a shop, and all of a sudden Moon Knight comes out with a fucking karate kick, and then he does a thing with his blade, and Stephen will do his thing with his little nunchucks.
Yeah,
I
when
was like,
Stephen's
what
got the
fuck?
nunchuck beating them all, like frozen, and then it flies back round, and then he catches
Flips
it
as
Mark,
Moon Knight. Yeah,
and
exactly.
It's like, that's
It's
fucking
like,
sick.
Yeah.
But then we get a blackout for the
Yeah.
first time since
In the-
episode 2.
Yeah, something like that. 2 or 3.
Well, no, it must have been 1, because I don't think they were blackouts, because it was in the whole thing of like him taking control and stuff, and it was them two arguing. Whereas in
No,
the first
episode-
one, he didn't know, and it was black gone, and like, what have I done here?
Beginning of episode 3, when he's fighting those people on the rooftop,
Yes.
and the guy in the jeans jacket falls off the cliff. That was the last blackout.
Yeah.
Because that's when they first said, "Oh, was it?" Stephen's like, "Was that you? Did
And he
Mark?"
has the knife in the
Yeah.
cab, and he's
He's
like,
like, "Was
"That's
that
not
you?"
me. It wasn't me."
Yeah. That was the first time it sort of then came to our
Because
attention.
as we know in the comics, there is a third
There is
persona.
a third persona.
But as it ends, and Amnet is trapped in the body of Harrow and
Ethan Hawke's, yeah.
not killed, because
Yeah,
he
not
like leaves it as like, you want it done, Conchu, you do it yourself.
You're beginning to sound like I Met Yourself. Yeah. I don't want no part of this.
And then when he does it, he's basically trapped in a mental asylum, but he's broken out in the post-credit scene by Oscar Isaac.
who I honestly thought was fucking Blade. I saw black and I thought, is this someone like in the real world? What's this? Yeah.
He's taken into a stretch limousine where Conchu is like Mark.
in
Mark
Stephen
didn't.
Grant's suit. Khonshu had the suit,
Yeah,
which is weird.
and he's like, Mark truly didn't know how sort of like damaged he was.
Yeah,
Meet my friend
with my friend.
Jake
Jake
Lockley, the third persona that we knew from the comics, that is the reason why there was another voice, another
And
slightly
outside-
different face, and one that they were like, it wasn't me or Stephen. Like, who was it?
Sarcophagus, yeah.
I think that's good in terms of a teaser. That's where you would take a second season. But I think you.
Or just call it the Jake Lockley show. Maybe is this Mark and Stephen done for now, and then
No. I don't think, because
I don't know.
Like he's obviously clearly not released them because that was his promise. But I think
Yeah.
because there was a page from the comic panels that was shared of like, I'd love if this is how it ends, and it's where like they switch between them, like, and it's 3 different panels, and you have Mark.
It's like that shot of him like squishing Khonshu's
Yeah,
head.
like
Yeah,
that.
I've seen that so many
Yeah.
times. Yeah, that shot.
Like that would be a good way, and I think like you kind of get to that eventually because you have to keep your powers in Moon Knight. But obviously, he's put his faith in Jake Lockley. Maybe it was never in Mark that he wanted. Like Mark was just part of it, and he saw that because Mark is the body.
He's the main one. Yeah.
He's the one that was born. He is like that, and Stephen is the
original.
creation of that. And we can only assume that Jake is also the same.
Creation of Saul. Yeah.
Unless Jake is the original body, and it's like he's
plot
sit
twist.
back.
Mark was fake. Yeah.
Mark was
yeah,
a persona
maybe.
created by
Yeah,
thingy, and
Jake.
that's what he believes. Maybe Khonshu's led him to believe that that's what happened. But
Yeah. Well, yeah.
so that all happens, and we're left with the string of Jake Lockley for a possible return, because Oscar Isaac is the first star that's not under contract.
Under a long-term 6-movie contract.
It's literally
yeah.
just he was done
This one show.
for this. I think he will come back for another season, and because obviously the characters then go on to be in the movies. Like Iman Vellani is in the
The
Marvels,
Marvels. Yep.
as Kamala Khan.
Teyonah Parris is in the Marvels.
Yeah, because she was first in
The WandaVision.
WandaVision.
Yeah.
Will she be in Doctor Strange? Well, we don't know
we
yet,
don't
but we will
know.
do by the time you hear
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
I hope he comes back, and I hope we get to see a proper Moon Knight interaction out of the comics with the Avengers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do Midnight Suns. That's what I really want. Like, if we could
That's
do
the end game. Yeah. They're going to do the origins of them all individually. I
Moon
feel,
Knight,
and then-
Ghost Rider,
Blade.
Daredevil, Blade, and Black Knight.
Yeah.
Black Knight and Moon Knight. What's so special about you? You're in black, I'm in white.
Yeah, you want to team up?
It's like yin and yang, innit? Oh,
That's the line. Yeah, yin and yang, innit?
when Mark leaves Paradise and goes back for Steven. Like,
Yeah,
you are the
that was-
superpower I always had, and that was
that was
fucking
adorable.
emotional, man.
Yeah.
But then they both hands on the heart, and because sharing the secrets makes the heart full and the scales balance, because you're judged on your scales. If your scales are balanced, you're a good person. If they're not, then you're a prick.
and you'll die. Yeah, and then
And
you
then
die.
you're banished to the sands for all eternity. But when they did that, it's like, well, how's this happen? But obviously they're both holding the heart, and just in time too, because it starts glowing, and then the doors open and they go back to their body. So it's like, that's a nice payoff for the whole purgatory thing, because you do spend like a good episode and a bit
just
going like,
one
is
episode,
what is real?
Yeah, what
But
is
I
this?
like how they incorporate that into it. That was very well done. Yes.
No, very good show overall.
In terms of the other ones, where do you put this?
At the minute, fuck it, at the minute top, but then on a more critical rewatch down the line, it might be second or third. I think the top three, not in any order, but WandaVision, Hawkeye, and Moon Knight. I think they're the best three shows on Disney Plus so far. Because I rewatched WandaVision in preparation for the multiverse yesterday/tomorrow, whenever you guys watch this, in whatever order you want to watch it, whatever universe floats your boat. I feel like ignoring the multiversal constraints of WandaVision at the time and just sort of appreciating it for what it is, because it has been a while since I've delved back into Westview. I did enjoy it more just for what it is. I still think like episode 7 is the weakest out of all 9. Episode 8's, basically when she gets all of her development in one episode, and then the first 6, 3.5 to 4 are just them
Fun little
mucking
thing,
around,
fun little
trolling
thing,
for a
fun
week.
little thing. But that's weird.
Yeah.
There's a bigger thing. Yeah.
Which I understand would still put people off, even if newcomers are like, I don't want to watch this shit.
But
I
loved
superheroes.
I loved
Yeah.
WandaVision because of how different it was, and I think that's
100%.
why I
still do.
Moon Knight. I think
It's distinct. They're both distinct.
I don't have a top 3. I have a top 4
All right.
because I would lump Loki in with that as well.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me because it's easy to go
It's
from thinking,
hard
this
to
is the
put-
best one I've watched.
It's
Like, this
hard
is the
to
best
put
one I've watched.
one as overall like the best.
If I'm
Arguably the
gonna
best.
say at the minute,
Yeah, the best.
what if is the weakest?
Okay. Yeah.
Falcon and Winter Soldier next, because that was, you could feel the pandemic
the
in
pandemic.
that and
Yeah,
the rush
absolutely.
and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
So and then was it the other 4 then we had?
Yeah. WandaVision,
Falcon and Winter Soldier, Loki, What If, Hawkeye, Moon Knight.
Moon Knight. Yes.
Yeah, so I'd go What If, Falcon Winter Soldier. Now this is tough because it's hard. These are all really close in terms of
There's a big leap between number 5 and number 4. Yeah.
literally.
Yeah.
This can change. This is all in flux, really. But I'd say, if I had to pick, because I enjoy Hawkeye because it doesn't really take any risk and it was just sort of everything we wanted it to be.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
WandaVision took so many risks and it was so different, and it was the first Phase 4 thing and the first Marvel thing we had in a year that
In
it
a
was
year,
like, this
yeah.
is different, and
Different.
I love it, and that did put a lot of people off, like you said. But, and also I do love Loki. I feel like at the moment,
What's 4th?
Loki's 4th.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we don't know, like, because obviously it's setting up the future in the multiverse and everything that's going to happen, not just in Doctor Strange, but down the
Yeah.
line in terms of Kang.
And I'm just looking at it in terms of like gripping an audience. I'm not knocking it when I say it. It is just a bunch of show. It's not Doctor Who. It's not him going to history doing Doctor Who-y things. He's not a time traveller.
It feels like
a
Doctor Who,
bunch
and it's
of-
quite good,
It's
though.
it's a bunch of talking, but about very important future things that will definitely happen at some point.
Yep.
But a lot of in-depth moral raising questions. But that's all it was. It was a lot of discussion.
Yes.
Whereas compared to the other 3, they
I
were
love
different.
that.
They were distinct. They kept you interested. That there was things going on about.
I love
them.
that the hook was the acting, because it
Yeah,
starts
of
with two
course.
people having a conversation, and the last thing that has future implications for the whole of the multiverse is three fantastic actors
3 leads,
sitting
yeah.
in a room and just talking.
discussing Absolute.
And we
bollocks
crossed the
at minute,
threshold.
but they're all,
So I think in terms of how that plays into Doctor Strange and in future films, I think we'll give more to Loki. But I really did love it, and at the time it was
Yeah,
my
of course.
favourite show.
Yeah, out of those, yeah.
But I would have to say that then I've got.
Would you say WandaVision third?
I'd say at the moment I'd put Moon Knight in a safe 3rd place without a
Okay.
rewatch.
Okay, yeah.
Because I've had the benefit of rewatching most of the other. I do kind of want to rewatch all of them
In one
and be
go.
like,
yeah.
"Oh, this is where I am." Because when I next do an MCU like thingy, I will include the shows because I know some people that are just doing them. Because we've got some of our Lars friends that are doing it, and they're like not doing the shows; they're just doing WandaVision because it's necessary to Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But it's but then Loki is kind of necessary to the whole of Phase.
Everything context. Yeah, context.
And also when they show up, like Moon Knight shows up, you're gonna be like, "Who's this guy?" Well, it's like, well, we'll go back and watch
this. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But so I'd say at the moment, Moon Knight in third, just because I did think that it was a bit rushed at the end, like the whole thing of like he's getting beaten and he's gonna die because Harrow's killing him, and then suddenly blacks out, and then Harrow's like being captured in blood. That was a bit of a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
Well, because of that, I'll push it down to 4, and I'll keep Loki at 3 then, just for now. In terms of a rewatch, because I think that might push it up in terms of I know where it's at now. But it was great story, great scope, and it was so fucking well crafted. But just the ending was a bit short. The last episode was the shortest.
Yeah.
And it felt like it kind of just went, and we'll wrap all this up. Yeah.
But here, there's definitely more coming, but we don't know when. Yeah.
And I think a season 2 could make that feel better or worse.
Exactly. Yeah. As and when we get it.
Number 2, I'd say, this is...
I know, it's a hard one now.
Just purely in terms of quality, I think I'd have to put Hawkeye at second because it does take the least risks, but it feels like a Netflix show. It's Daredevil vibes, not just in the casting, but in terms of the fight choreography, the realness. It crossed the
threshold between the two showrunners, if you like,
And WandaVision because at least immediately it has the most effect coming. So we will see. Well, we have seen it. Like we have seen it when this comes out. But in terms of, we're looking forward to actually seeing it. So I really did dig Moon Knight. I would say that barring What If, which I think is a solid 6 out of 10, because I think it's just because apart from like the Doctor Strange episode and a couple of standout fucking stellar episodes, you're a bit like,
how is this part of the MCU?
And I think, well, it is in terms of variants will be showing up in films, but I think for that to just chug along and be its own thing in the season 2 of that, like that's fine. Season 2 might make us think differently on it and how the characters are used in like Multiverse of Madness.
For all we might know, Multiverse might affect season 2. For all we know,
maybe might do,
because I feel like there was one plot thread which I feel like would have continued, and that I think it's Captain Carter teaming up with the Black Widow.
Yes.
If it's the same one in Multiverse of Madness. I mean, we know because we've already seen it, but if it's the same Captain Carter, or if it's just likeness, perhaps.
Likeness Everdeen. Then I'd say Falcon Winter Soldier's probably between a 6 and a 7, maybe more towards a 7, just like being kind.
Yeah.
Because I think that
John Walker.
I think 4 of those episodes are fucking amazing.
Yeah.
And I think 2 of them are just a bit like we're stopping and talking because we've kind of just it's the only one that feels to me like here's a thing that we've filmed as one thing. We've chopped it up for television.
Episode 3 of Falcon Winter Soldier might be the weakest episode on Disney Plus.
Yes.
Yeah, I think if we're just going to rank them individually, that's the weakest.
That's one of the weakest things. Yeah, that I've watched.
That we've seen and streamed or whatever.
But it's still like is a safety net level of quality throughout the MCU. Like it's still better than a lot of MCU films.
And half the shows that get put on Netflix, but yeah.
Yes. And then I'd say, so at the moment, Moon Knight for me is like an 8.5.
Yeah. Yeah. I think an 8's a good. Yeah. Definitely more than the 7.
Well, I would say a 9, but maybe a rewatch might push it up because I think just the ending just stops it.
The finale. Yeah.
And just some of the pacing just feels like this is taking the momentum out.
I think you're right. The first 2 episodes, the first act of Moon Knight
bangs
is the first
stellar
best first act. Arguably out of everything.
Yes.
Maybe.
10 out of 10 first act.
Yeah, those episode 1 and 2.
I'd say you get like a 7 out of 10 middle, and like an 8, 9 out of 10 end.
Yeah.
So it kind of So I'd say like an 8. We'll say 8.5 for Moon Knight. I'd say an 8.5, 9 for Loki.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of enjoyment value, I'm getting like 9.5 for WandaVision and Hawkeye.
Yeah, Hawkeye. Yeah.
But with it just topping out at WandaVision because it was like, this is different and fun, and it does have consequences. And the whole thing of like, we're casting Evan Peters to purely fuck with the audience.
You think we're getting it? Not yet.
And then throw fucking Patrick Stewart, Professor X at us like a year later.
The real X-Men, a year later. Yeah, exactly. We'll see. But yeah. No, that's a fair analysis. I think we've done a good job with that.
Yeah. What did you guys think of the Moon Knight?
Moonit.
Did you like him?
Yeah.
Do you think Oscar Isaac is finally being given something amazing by Disney?
Yes.
I can't. Do you know what? With this, I can't wait to see, because he is the top villain for Across the Spider-Verse.
He is, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Above Shamik Moore, Jake Johnson, and Haley Steinfeld. So
Star power.
mm,
Star power indeed.
it's nice that after the reprieve of the Poe Dameron and fucking Apocalypse saga, we've got something that Oscar,
Yeah.
because Oscar Isaac is a fucking amazing actor.
He's great. I saw him in Force Awakens. I genuinely had the force that I had. There's something about this one.
Like
I had that little.
he's got the. I mean, they spent like 3 films trying to make
Something out
him
of
and
him,
him
yeah.
and Finn into Han Solo, and then Adam Driver does it in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But yeah, I hope that this isn't the last we've seen of him playing Moon Knight. I doubt that even
No.
if he leaves, that we're going to stop seeing Moon Knight.
In some capacity, yeah.
But I think he knows what he's got good, and once he's in one of the movies, it'll be like because people are like, well, why is there no movie for this guy? And I think that this gets rid of having this felt like a movie, but it gets rid of the whole thing of like doing all this on the big screen for an audience that might not be as perceptive and as accepting of this.
Yeah, that's
But,
good words. Yeah,
I'd love to see a Midnight Suns series, or like him link up in one of the maybe you have him and Black Knight and Blade sort of as you start to
Do
see
like a
sort of
weird
like
trio
another
thing, investigating some underground demonic shit that will then lead to the creation of a Ghost Rider.
have him as a cameo, start seeing him throughout the films. Have Oscar Isaac back because he was fucking phenomenal. If you want to get in contact with us and talk about Moon Knight, and if you wanted to talk to us about Doctor Strange now that you've seen it, because
with us, of course, yeah.
you can
seen
send your emails to
nerdbiblecontact@gmail.com.
if there's spoilers in it, just put spoilers in like the top, and then we can sort of like do some spoiler filled ones like towards the end and some spoiler-less
Free
ones
at the beginning.
Yeah, well, let's get some audience interaction for Doctor Strange. You can get in contact throughout the week at Pasty Sheep across Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe if you've not done so already. And all that remains to say is, we've seen the Multiverse of Madness for real. No,
Who is Doctor Strange?
who was Doctor Strange?
Who was Doctor Strange? Who was Peter
next
Parker?
week? What's next week? Is there a big release after this?
Oh, not that I can think of. Not like
We're kind of getting ready for Kenobi. We'll probably, I think we might do a watch along for Kenobi. No promises, but that's the end of May, so we could definitely do something with it. So maybe come along to that, and spread the word and share it and comment and get that algorithm a ticking. And
get it going.
thanks for sticking with us and finally getting your answers to Moon Knight. We promised it.
We got answered today as well, so we can actually bring them to you.
It's just because it was like, want to
Jake
talk about
real?
it, but
Is
then
Jake
stuff
real?
would keep coming up, and then it's like you're 3-4 episodes in, and then like last week it's like
It would have been such a shit finale if Jake wasn't even addressed. Especially with that ending of, oh, I've killed Harrow. Was it you, Stephen? No. And then obviously it's Jake. And
that would have been a nice thread.
Been like,
because that would have got people coming back. But I look forward to this coming back and rewatching this. What does it mean for the future? Only Benedict Cumberbatch knows.
Yeah, Oscar Benedict Wonkabatch knows.
So I don't know. I don't know what we'll do next week. Maybe we'll get the Bond ones in. So if you've got some Bond questions for specifically the Roger Moore era, because I don't know if you know this, that was this pre-pandemic?
Yes,
2019, wasn't it?
It was
Jesus.
in your old place, yes.
Yes.
The old studio.
The rebondage is coming back in terms of pre-recorded episodes, because we did the rebondage of the Sean Connery films
era.
because it was when we unfortunately lost Sean Connery. It was like, we kind of want to talk about him because he was
He was great.
very good and influenced on pop culture, and the reason we have James Bond today is because of that man. But we do need to carry that on. So the next one we'll do on Her Majesty's Secret Service, because I'm not sure if we actually, I think we just mentioned it in passing because it was like, we wanted to do all the films. Because Sean Connery had died, it was kind of like we've kind of got to focus on him.
Yeah.
Never Say Never Again and 67 Casino Royale have been added onto Prime.
Oh,
But they're just not in the James Bond
The
collection
bracket,
bit.
bracket.
So you click on that and it's all the Eon films and the documentary from 2012. But then if you search Never Say Never Again and Casino Royale, it comes up.
I might give
So
them
maybe
a
that might be
watch.
the bonus one. So we'll do all of them in all, like we try and kind of like group them together, because I don't know if you've seen Big Damn Cast did it for the X-Men, and they kind of did like the X-Men 1, 2, and 3, Origins First Class, and the Wolverine. So kind of did it like that, like groups them like that. But we did it the first 3 and the second 3, and kind of didn't focus on Her Majesty's Secret Service.
No.
We never really reviewed them greatly in depth because we don't need kind of.
We were early. We were
anticipating
back a few updates. We evolve always as this. So,
and we didn't really talk about them greatly in depth because we'd only seen them like bits and pieces, and it was kind of a generalization of
of that
his
era,
life and celebrating him as an actor. So we do need to do the Roger Moore. We'll do On Her Majesty's Live and Let Die, Man with a Golden Gun, and Spy Who Loved Me, and then we'll do Moonraker, For Your Eyes Only, Octopussy, and View to a Kill.
Yeah.
There will be 2 separate episodes before we move on to. Or does that kind of mean we got? Because I would love to do it if they were small enough and containable enough, we could do each era. Like you could do Dalton, and then Brosnan, and then Craig. But then it's like you've got one episode for.
Or should we just do Lazenby and Dalton in one? Oh no, it's a bit out of sync.
No, we'll do Lazenby because then that makes it 2 episodes with 4 in it each. But then like you kind of, then you've only got 2 in it. Or do we do like? And then the first... No, we'll do it by era of actor, and then we'll have a nice bonus one of Never Say Never Again. And
the non-canon ones, yeah. Yeah. Okay.
But until then, everyone, thank you so much for listening and watching and just having us ramble, and we'll see you next time.